let's have a little wrap up kind of conversation and talk a little bit more about the nature of influencers and why it's so important. Why are we banging this drum all the time about influencers? And what can you expect either from an influencer or by becoming an influencer?
Well, Eric, I think the reason we're banging the drum is because we're here to serve the small business community.
Right.
Right. And this is, as small businesses, when you think about how many small businesses open every single day and subsequently how many close, the IRS talking about the failure rate and the closing rate.
Right.
And not even statistic wise, networking and meeting and talking with business owners and even on social media that are struggling to grow their businesses. This is our angst and has been with Experience Pros since the day we opened.
Yeah.
Here we were brand new business owners ourselves, seeking out the methodology to grow our business with a limited budget.
Right.
Find ourselves networking with a whole lot of other business owners kind of in the same boat, all of us with a heart and a passion and excitement, probably offer an amazing service, amazing product. But if nobody's heard of it or not enough people have heard of it,
what have you accomplished?
And so this has been the struggle that we have been solving for and creating results for small business owners since day one.
That's right. For 8 years, we have identified that if nobody knows you, then you can have all the greatest things in the world, but you're not getting the traction. And our mission in the world is to make sure that you're not only successful, but you're thriving in the marketplace. But in order to do that, you must be visible. And here's the thing. It's not just Angel and I trying to sell a product or a service. It is Forbes.com. It is Sprout Social, GroupHigh.com, Kissmetrics, CBS News, Influencer Marketing Hub, Mashable.com, Dreamweaver Brandcommunications.com, Mari Smith, Seth Godin, all these huge names in business. And I'm not just talking little names, but huge names in business, all referring to, talking about, and describing the rise of the micro-influencer, the people who can affect change at a grassroots level.
So you are an expert at what you do.
That's the assumption.
Right? You are an expert. You've learned, you've networked, you've educated yourself, you've got the experience behind you. You are an expert at what you do.
Right.
In order for your business to be sustainable, you need more people to have heard of you. You need visibility. You need exposure. You need to be the thought leader, the authority, the expert, the celebrity in your space. But you need to stay in your wheelhouse of being the expert in what you do. And so this is why we partner with media partners. This is why we all sign up for Twitter and Instagram and YouTube.
Yes.
Because we need a platform. We're all looking for a platform for a bigger audience so that we have that exposure and that visibility so that when people are doing a Google search and people are referring, that our brand is top of mind, that it comes up first, that there isn't anybody else in the marketplace. And what differentiates us from our competition is he with the most exposure wins. When you talk about some of the most famous, most familiar brands in the marketplace, and they're number one in their space, it's because you see them everywhere.
Right.
They're on every corner. They're in every ad. They're sponsoring every, major sporting event and sporting venue and the theaters and the billboards. Like, you see them everywhere. And as small business owners, we can't compete with that budget.
That's right.
But we can compete with our audience, and we can compete for mind share and market share.
You bet. We're nimble as small business owners, and we do have engagement that those companies simply cannot get. And that's where micro-influencers come to town. And we say this on a regular basis. I think it's worth saying again and again. And that is, with the mindset of a micro-influencer, sales isn't the goal. It is the unavoidable byproduct of the influence that you are granted, not by yourself, but by others.
Right.
When other people esteem you as that influencer.
When you think about your exposure and your visibility, what does that lead to? It leads to followers. It leads to people checking you out. It leads to people talking about you. It leads to you being able to make appointments for them, signing up for something or following you on social media. It leads to followers. And where do customers come from? When those followers see results,
that's right.
Then they become customers. And so when we're talking about the bottom line is customers, you can't get there until they've seen a result or started to follow you. They've heard of you. And that all comes from those impressions and that visibility and that exposure. And so they go hand in hand. Yes, we're all looking for that sale and that customer. But in order to keep that hopper full, most people aren't going to buy from you the very first time that they've heard of you. Right? Unless you happen to have a compelling message and you're in front of that perfect audience and it's the right budget and at the right time.
Yep.
But that's a dynamic that you can't control all the factors of 100% of the time. But what you can control is that the messaging is right, that it's in front of the right audience, and that the exposure is there so that when their timing is right, you're right there.
Yeah. And that's the whole point right there, is that you want to be the person in that top 5% of all the people in your industry, whether it's local or maybe on a state level or on a national level or an international, a global level. You get to choose the marketplace in which you wish to play. But if you're not that influencer, if you don't have that kind of visibility, then you're not in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing with the right people. And that's what we're trying to solve for. That's what we're trying to bring to the table. We have a gift for you. If you'd like to know the first steps to becoming a micro-influencer, go download right now our brand new CD. It's 33 minutes. It's not going to break your time clock here. 33 minutes. You can download the audio files directly to your computer or your iPhone or your Android or wherever. WeMakeYouVisible.com. WeMakeYouVisible.com, where you can go download how to become a micro-influencer by us, and we'll help you grow that thing together. We'll be back tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in to the Experience Pros Network.